there, everybody. Sorry I was late getting started. I was hoping to have the audio working, and I'm running really slow. I apologize for that, but I am set up enough to get started here. I'm not sure how long I'm going to be able to go. My legs are a bit wobbly, but let's at least get this show on the road. I did send a link to Megan. I'm not expecting her to join because I know she's not feeling well from her birthday stream yesterday. However, I figured I should at least extend her the offer and let her know when the stream is going to be so she could at least watch it if she'd like. Let's see. So I did mention to some people that I might wind up in the hospital today. I'm not in the hospital today, but my work sent me home and told me not to come back till I had a doctor's note saying what I could and couldn't do because they're worried about me being able to safely do my job, which is understandable. I mean, they don't want their employees injured. I don't have a problem with that, though. It's going to suck if I can't get something resolved soon. And there's also, unless I have at least some improvement by tomorrow, I'm probably going to go to the hospital anyway, just as part of an abundance of caution. Let's make sure that's correct orientation here. And there we go. Actually, these are about the same pole there. Should be able to do that. I'll leave that there until we get the first one. All right, here's the fun part, standing up. That is a lot more difficult than I would like. Let's see. Probably should keep the mouse when I get to it so I can bring up people's chats. Still haven't figured out how to gift memberships. I did go to where I thought it was supposed to be, and it wasn't an option. Let me see now that the stream is live if I can do that. Let's see, membership. Nope, that's not giving me an option there. And nope, it doesn't give me an option there. That sucks. Oh well. All right, well, might as well close that window down because it's not helping me there. All right, we're doing okay in studio. All right, let me actually get us in studio. And hit that one is live. There we go. All right. So for chats here, Betsy Weingartner, Torn 3. Hello. Hi, Betsy. Gwen says to Betsy, hello. And Mary Cormier. Oh, sorry. Oh, yeah. Mary Cormier says, what's up? I'm starting a braid for Megan Fox. And I'm trying to stay out of the hospital. Betsy says, Gwen, hello, Torn. Sorry to hear you're still not feeling well. The annoying thing is I actually feel okay. I just am super weak. And Betsy says to Maylee, hello. And Maylee saying, hey, Betsy. All right. Let's see if taller chairs make it easier. Let's see if I can get these threaded properly. Yeah. All right. And I actually have a set of very nice scissors for this. I got the same ones that Miss Torn likes. And we're shooting for about a 3-foot long braid. So I'm going to do this one a bit thicker strands than I've been doing for the pickup braids. And else was I going to say? Because there's a little fewer in them, and I'd like it to look nice. Let's see. There we go. And we've got one. Since this is a bit tiring, I'm probably going to not talk as much as I normally do, but I will try and keep the chat active. Now, only 2 more days till Nick Rekieta starts streaming again. I'm going to enjoy that. I do like his coverage on legal takes that deal with politics, since at least some of the lawyers out there don't really deal too much. Well, Good Logic does, and several others, so it's not entirely undealt with, but I like his particular take on it. This would be a little bit easier if I could get a little closer, but I'd like to be able to stand up on my own without calling Mrs. Torn for that. We got 2. We'll go with this one next. At least both of these colors have been run before, so they should hopefully not bind up as much as the red. I think I got a way to deal with this without kneeling down. And see, we've got some more chats here. Let's catch up with everybody. All right, I think we were up to this one. Hey, Betsy. And Auntie-Faye, I haven't seen you before. Welcome to the chat. Auntie says hello from England. Thank you very much. It's hello back to you as well. Let's see. Gwen says hello to Melee. And Betsy says Auntie-Faye, hello from Pittsburgh. And Gwen says Auntie-Faye, hello. MLS dropping in, and he says, hey, hey, hey. And Gwen says, hey, Dave. Auntie-Faye, hi, Betsy. So cool. We're here from all over the globe. Yep, we actually even have some people that occasionally join from Japan and some others from different points in Europe and the occasional Australian. And Melee says, hey, Auntie-Faye. And Gwen. Melee says, hey, Dave. And Gwen says, please hit that like button. Help Storm 3 with the YouTube algorithms. And Auntie-Faye, it says, it blows my mind what Torn achieves such patience. Thank you very much, Auntie-Faye. That's very kind of you. And Betsy says, MLS, making law simple. Hey. All right, let's retrieve that drops our cone. Not kneeling down, which would cause me difficulty. Go. So that one got stuck under there. Okay. We don't have a ton of excess hanging down. Get mixed up with other things. All right. So that one's actually on. We got a little knot at the end. Yeah, this is not a good day. I'm having a hard time even getting the scissors open. But they cut like a laser. I did also manage to, I believe, fix my 3D printer. There we go. I had a problem with my hot end and some filament where it got all blobbed up, and I had to actually replace the hot end. Um, and after that, I seem to keep having problems with it. I finally got a gauge that it's called sometimes a tension gauge, but it's not really a tension gauge. It's like a little digital caliper micrometer set up so you can like figure out how much displacement you have on a belt. And my printer is belt driven for all three axes. It's a delta, so it's like three arms that go up and down by a belt. And apparently, the tension on each of them got bumped out of whack with the relative to the other two. So I got them all three at the same tension or displacement. I can't actually measure how much the tension is, just how far it displaces using the spring that holds the contact points together. And at least that way they should be close to each other. And then I think that's the important thing with this particular printer. Well, I got it through and then didn't get a good grip on it. So I'm probably not going to stream tomorrow night, depending on how things go. I might try a little bit of consoling if I'm feeling better. And I'll probably stream again on Friday. Or if I'm not feeling better, I'm probably going to go to the hospital. Just because I can't deal with not being able to work and not knowing what's going on. Gonna check in with a hospital that has a better investigative medicine department. The place I went to the last time I went to the hospital is the closest one. And they're a nice hospital, but they're fairly small and they don't have a lot of extra resources, so to speak. And one of the doctors I see suggested if I do have to go in and checking in with Jefferson Health is probably the best place to go. So I got 4 of those, so that means this one's next. After this one, I'll get up and catch up on chat again real quick. And I will, after I get this color set up, I'll do at least one tama off of this. So we can say we are officially started. This particular braid is what I like to call a laurel leaf pattern. They're not exactly laurel leaf shape, but it's pretty close. And it alternates color on each leaf from one to the other. It's got 66 tama. Move up through there. All right, so I've got 5 of them. So that's the next one. It's free flowing and not going to try to tie itself in a knot. Okay, there we go. And this is a relatively tall one. It's easier to get out of than the shorter chair. One next to the Takadai that I normally sit in. Catching up with the chat. All right. David Nelson, hey, nice to see you on. Saw you recently on one of Flux's streams. David Nelson says, hey, Torn3, many prayers. Thank you very much for that. Antifa says, I'm finding this so soothing. Excuse me if I fall asleep. No problem on that. You're, what, about 4 or 5 hours ahead of us. So you're, I think, either just approaching midnight or just after midnight. And if I provide soothingness to fall asleep, I have no problem with that. And Chris Collins, hey, Chris, nice to see you. Hey, I'll cut a live again. It's been a while since I've done a live, so that's more my fault than anybody else's. Maylee Cormier says, hey, David Nelson. And Antifa says, it's nearly 1 a.m. here. I hope you, Torn, feel stronger soon. Yes, I am hoping that as well. Let's see. And David Nelson says, hey, Maylee Cormier. And Maylee says, hi, Chris Collins. All right. So, yeah, essentially, at this stage, I thought it was my Adderall that I was taking for ADD that was causing my problem. But I stopped it for about 3 weeks, and it wasn't really getting better. So the only thing I could think of that was different in the hospital that got me better that we hadn't tried since I got out was an antiviral, because I had a shingles outbreak in the back of my throat, which kind of sucked. They thought it was strep, but after like 2 or 3 attempts at culturing it, they said, hey, there's no real bacteria to culture there that shows up as anything. So the doctor prescribed antivirals. So I'm going to try like a 7 to 10 day run of that, see if that helps. And I thought I was getting a little better with that. I wasn't really getting a whole lot stronger, but I wasn't bad. And my recovery time was improving from when I was getting tired. But, figured 3 weeks off the Adderall, and with the clearance of the doctor, I started it up again. And the second day I was taking it, I started having problems, and that was yesterday. So hopefully, since I've stopped taking it again, I'm hoping in the next couple of days I improve very quickly. But I'm a little better than yesterday, but not a lot. And I do have a super chat goal running, and it's only 5 of any type of super chat, and I'll engage in a very polite, calm political rant if people would like to hear that. And if it reaches that and people don't want to hear it, I won't share it anyway, but we'll see how it goes. All right, let's see. And let's see. I think we did this one where Maylee says hi to Chris, and Maylee says, I'm sorry to hear that, Torn. Yep, I just figured I'd share with you what's going on so you guys are aware, and it's not a huge surprise if I miss the next couple of days I'd normally be streaming. So I got half of the orange set up. Let's get the other half of it in place. There. So I'm going to hit number 7. I actually wound up completing a project last week, and it got delivered to the person it was intended to only 2 years after I tried to start it. So I'm making some progress. That was the Dirty Shop stream that I streamed last. That actually got delivered to the intended recipient yesterday, and they're very happy with it. I won't get a chance to try it for maybe about a month, but they promised to report back and let me know how well the mold worked with casting beeswax in it. This one is not forming enough. Okay, that's good. All right. And Okay. Okay, yep, I did not have to do this one yet. Okay. One also does not look like it's going to be forming a knot. The other advantage that running up the first tama before stringing up for the second one is that it'll pull all the threads relatively tensioned, so they're not in the way of me setting up the other side of this, which will be an advantage. All right, just two more to do. At least I think it's two more. Yep. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 10. Yep. When I start doing the production on these, I'm going to have a slightly different base so these don't wobble nearly as much. Go. One last one to go. All right, there we go. Let me list this down. Oops. That one needs that. There we go. There's more stream missed. And what I'm 3D printing is the red plastic version of this. Still want to tweak the paint job a bit more, but it's mostly looking like I'd like it. I figure I'm going to sell these for about $30. The red and the black is for a group in the SCA I'm in that has a red and black yin-yang with a lightning bolt on it. But I'll probably do like a black and white version or maybe a black and yellow version. And also do like, the other color, red or skulls, white skulls, things like that. And those I'll start selling online fairly soon. Let me catch up real quick here. All right, no new chats. Give me a second, grab a drink, and then we'll get started on this. See how much I've forgotten. All righty. So I'll put this over here. Grab these all together. Do a couple times around the finger just to make sure we're not missing on pulling on any of them. Gently pull. Got a little bit of resistance, but it's evening out. Hopefully that'll not be as bad as we go along. Looks like we definitely have some uneven pulling and static issues. Get this Tama cleaned up a little bit. Or I have another set of scissors over here. No, I'll have to. Oh, there they are. Give me a second here. Reach over to something without falling. Do anything stupid like that. All right. So we are going to tie this one off. Remember, right, 3 times seems to be the magic number. And 1. 2. Wow, I literally have no strength in my hands at this moment. And 3. All right. Cut off a little bit of the excess thread here. And tried to throw one on the floor, but I succeeded in failing at that. All right. So we'll set this one here and walk this back. All right, so that's going to need some assistance. Where did I put the big roll of blue tape? Oh no, there's one there, but I thought I had one up here. Give me a second while I try and find it without like falling over anything. Ah, there it is. And it's a spot I can reach. And I was not kidding when I said it's a big big roll of blue tape. A second here. That should keep the tongue on the tape. Well, let's give it a little extra help. So we have some sort of member chat. I will pull that up in a second once I get this one taken care of. Back here. Let's even this up a little bit. All right. And the magnet back on there. And there we go. There we go. All right. So, and since I'm doing these a little different than I do for the pickup braids, I don't have to worry if I come down from the top or go up to the bottom. It doesn't make any difference. because I'm going to wrap it through and then tie it back on the same tama. So we get 24 threads per tama. Alrighty. Walk back this way. And read the tama. And I am going to sit down so that I can read the chats as well as tie this off. Oops. That could have been fun. And by fun, I mean like the Spanish Inquisition was fun for everybody but the Spanish Inquisition themselves. All right. Let's see. All right, that'll work. And let's see. And it's Connor, Vice Baby. Yay, you're live. How are you feeling, Torrin? Very, very weak and not very happy with myself for that. And Vice Baby became a YouTube member. Thank you very much for that. And Melee says, what's up, Connor? And Connor says, not much, Melee. How are you? Or how are you? And Vice Baby says, don't put yourself too much, Torn. Yeah, I'm going to get this top tied off, and then I am probably going to call the stream just because I am running out of energy, coping beans, and spoons. All right. And Melee says, body hurts from training to Connor. And Connor says, owie, what are you training for, Melee Cormier? And Melee says, just be in better shape because I'm not active at all. And Connor says, Melee, gotcha. Make sure you're hydrating. And Melee says, I will. All right, so we're caught up there. All right. So let's go ahead and pull on both of these, make sure the tension is even. Let's see if I can do this without knocking the tama on the floor. Yeah. We're looking good enough. I will tie it off, and if I need to, I'll do another knot just slightly further up since I got a little bit of extra length on this in case I need it. All right. And all right, we will go one knot and two knots and then three knots. Missed one on the third one, but like I said, shouldn't be a problem. Let's go ahead and slide these knots to where they're the same point on the leader. All right. We'll roll this up a little bit. And okay, let's stand up here. And I just dropped the mouse on the floor. Hope I didn't kill the stream. All right. So it looks like it is nice and evenly tensioned. So we will roll it up. And do a leader knot on here. Or a lark's head knot, not a leader knot. And we are officially started on the braid. Grab the mouse. And the battery. Give me a second here. Alrighty. Okay, it's not liking the mouse. Let's try turning it off. Back on again. This is going to be fun if I can't get the mouse to work. All right, let's see if I can do it with keyboard shortcuts. I also have the Xbox controller that can sometimes act like a mouse, but I haven't had that much luck with it. All right. Okay, still no mouse response, so... All right, settings, enter, Bluetooth devices, tab. All right, and tab. Why is that not giving me a connection option? All right, let's try this again. Settings. All right, let's try Alt-Tab. There we go. Let's go to System, then go back to Bluetooth. Turn Bluetooth off and on. Come on. There we go. It says it's connected. All right. Yep, I have a mouse again. That was annoying as all crap. All right, let's see. We were at, here we go. Now it says, have you tried the Thrustmaster of Vice Baby? And Vice Baby says, nope, not yet. I guess I'll work on that as I watch Torin works his magic. And Gwen says, okay, I've been waiting all day to put my chicken pot pie together in the oven. It's cooking now. Well, I hope you have a wonderful dinner, Gwen. And Vice Baby says, Gwen, yum. And Melee says, awesome, to Gwen. And Gwen says, yep, I didn't think it happened today. Electric was off. They said it might be 1 a.m. before it was restored. Thankfully, it didn't take that long. I am glad to hear that. And Philip Martin says, hello. Hey, Philip. Before we sign off, let me go ahead and show you how my 3D printed stuff has been going. All right, let's try this without killing the mouse. Standing up again, I mean. This is going to be fun. So I can get my legs in the right position for this. Right. Yep, I'm going to need Mrs. Torin's help for that. If you go back in the stream a little bit after I'm done, Philip Martin, I will go ahead and or you can go ahead and see what I've been doing. Millie says it's going to be a late dinner, and Millie says, "Hey, Philip Martin. All right, I am sorry I'm going to have to cut the stream off here. I got to get Mrs. Torn up to help me stand up, and I hope everything goes well for the best of you." And Philip Martin says, "I'll be sure to check it out. Thanks, everybody, for dropping in. It's been good to have you on here. I will try, and the next time I stream, be in much better shape. I might thread the black through for the rest of it, so at least that you're not watching me do the threading, and I can at least get onto these. And thanks, everybody, for coming. I appreciate it. And let's see. Millie says, "Thanks for the stream. Take care, all." And Gwen says, "Take it easy, Torrin." And Connor says, "Get some rest, Torrin. Thanks for the stream." Thanks for coming in, everybody. Appreciate it. And as always, everybody, stay safe and happy braiding.